Hello again, racing fans. Welcome to Behind the Lines here at Hoosier Park. I'm Steve Cross, and alongside with me this evening, our guest and owner of a very talented thrill pacing colt named Freaky Feet Pete. It's Marty Reinheimer. Marty, good to have you aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Marty, coming off of a sensational year last year, you certainly had a kind of a nice pony that you raced last year. And the name Freaky Feet Pete certainly caught a lot of people's attention last year as the colt went on to dominate in the two-year-old rankings for the pacing colts and geldings. In fact, went on to win the $220,000 final and earned well over, $261,000, I believe, lifetime last year as a two-year-old. So, to say the least, a very successful freshman campaign.
Yeah, it was kind of beyond our wildest dreams, a homebred, and we couldn't ask for anything more.
He was a son of Rockin' Image, first crop of Rockin' Image. How did you decide to breed the mare Skyway Lori to Rockin' Image? What played into that?
Just probably more or less dumb luck. Jeff King is right down the road, and he had the stud, and we went over and looked at him.
Okay.
And I believe it was the other rock and roll horse, World of Rock and Roll.
Yes.
And we liked him, and so we decided to breed her to him.
Okay, very good. Of course, the dam Skyway Lori, a mare that just is unbelievable, as she has never missed. Everything you've bred her to different stallions, bred her to Don't Get My Way quite a few times. You've had multiple winners, I believe all $100,000 winners, and all with records of 51 and 2 or faster. Sensational mare, unfortunately. Apparently, from the story I've heard, you lost the mare this spring at foaling.
Yeah, we lost her. It was the day of Pete's first qualifier, actually.
Okay.
And but she gave us a nice Rockin' Image filly, a full sister to Pete.
Okay. And so that's a 2015 foal. What about the 2014? Is there a 2014 foal, a yearling out there?
For this year, she's got a Don't Get in the Way.
Okay, so you bred her back to Don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the weanling, or the coming yearling, would be another Rockin' Image, be a full brother to Pete.
Okay, very good. Well, super. We have a number of questions here. In fact, we have asked the racing fans to tweet us some questions that they may have for Mr. Reinheimer here. And I've got 3 questions. First of all, we'll take this one from Emily Gaskin. It's a fun story about the name of this colt, Freaky Feet Pete. I love the name. In fact, I talked to your mother last fall and said, just how on earth did you come up with a name like Freaky Feet Pete? And so she proceeded to tell me, and it's kind of an interesting story.
Interesting or embarrassing, whichever way you want to go. He was born, and I was the one that found him not long after he was born. And
okay.
Apparently, when foals are born, they have feather-like substance on the bottom of their feet.
Yes, they do.
Well, I thought he was deformed, so I called Jeff King and Dad, and Jeff informed me of that's natural.
Normal. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
40-some years of life, I've never been around a foal that had just been born, and I've been around horses all my life.
Right,
so
right.
That's where the name came from.
So Freaky Feet Pete, interesting story. Okay, so next question here, we'll go to Chris. Asks, what will be Pete's ultimate goal this year? We're going to kind of jump ahead a little bit here, get ahead of ourselves perhaps. So what are your plans with Freaky Feet Pete as a 3-year-old?
We staked him in Indiana, of course.
Sure.
And the couple of the Grand Circuit stakes that are held here.
Okay.
And also the American National.
Okay.
And we've tossed around, if everything goes dream perfect.
Sure.
Maybe supplementing him to the Breeders' Crown.
Okay. That brings me to my one question that I have here. Last year, obviously, as a 2-year-old, again, he was so dominant and was so strong at the end of the season. Some of the other 2-year-old pacers last year towards the end of the season were seemingly tailing off, and this colt, your colt, Freaky Feet Pete, was not eligible to the Breeders' Crown.
No.
Would you have supplemented the colt if that would have been possible? Now, from I understand that the rules state that you cannot supplement a 2-year-old to the Breeders' Crown. If that would not have been the case, would you have put the money up to put him in?
Yeah, I believe we would. I think at the end of the year he was still strong, and, I mean, not bragging, but I think he was as good as anything in the country at the end of the year last year.
Couldn't agree with you more. He was certainly at the top of his game. Of course, he finished off the campaign last year with a 7.25 length romp in the Indiana Sire Stakes final, and going into that last race of the season, he had 10 starts for the year. He had 9 wins, only 1 loss. It was a 4th place finish earlier in the season. Any one particular mile that stood out in your mind from his freshman campaign?
Actually, the race just before the big final.
Okay.
He was pretty much parked every step of the mile. And
pretty much was. He was
going up the backstretch, I
A.
wasn't sure we were going to get a check, and then he just exploded home, and it was the biggest mile I seen him go.
Right. I did notice earlier in the season, in the far turn, I thought there was a few times when I thought he was a little bit steppy. Trace did a great job of keeping the horse together. Any concerns? Were there any concerns with his 2-year-old campaign? Was he good and solid? Was he sound as a 2-year-old? Were those just simply speed steps, perhaps?
I think that had a lot to do with it. I think he was probably going more than what we can train at home, and
right.
just being young. He did get sore feet towards the end of last year.
Okay.
But he came out of that fine. And,
okay. Good.
Yeah, Trace never had anything bad to say about him when he came off as far as
I would
the rough.
hope not. And brings me to the next question. You say you train him at home, farm track at home?
Farm track.
Okay, so that's where you've trained him his entire life.
Yep.
That's where he's stable at as a 3-year-old.
Yep.
Okay, very good. When did you realize last year that you might have something special with this colt?
He trained down real good in the spring, and there was no quit in him.
Okay.
No matter what you asked of him, he did it, and at the end of the mile, you always had to pull him up. You wanted to go on, kept wanting to go on. And then when we brought him down for the first qualifier, Trace came off the track and had kind of a smirk on his face, and that kind of confirmed what I had thought.
Wins by a length and a half in that first qualifier in 1:58, final quarter 27-3. That certainly would make anyone smile. I see this year as a 3-year-old, he's still a colt. Decided not to gel the colt?
No.
Okay, so things are looking up. So far, so good. How did you keep this horse sharp from, from June 14th all the way to October 18th?
Well, he's just a trainer's dream. He's so easy on himself, and he's eager to do his work, and we were able to put in a few qualifiers just to keep him sharp. And
as opposed to racing in overnights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of outclassed himself,
Right.
That was hard to get in overnight conditions.
Sure, right.
But he's just super easy to manage and
be
around.
Okay, that leads us into the final. We're going to take a look at that final last year. Here at Hoosier Park again, it was October 18th, Super Night, going for $220,000. And Marty, you drew post position 10 of all post positions. Post 10, is that a concern?
By this time, it wasn't, because it was like the 3rd or 4th time he'd been there. So it just seemed like our normal starting spot.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this race here as they go to the starts. Freaky Feet Pete from post 10.
Pete, it's Harfo Hanover, who's fast off the gate. Camtura Rock left aggressively from the inside. I'm a Full-Time Job is out in 3rd. Tony's Affection to the inside races in 4th as they head of the turn. And then it's Skim the Top to the outside, and here comes Freaky Feet Pete. Out of traffic now, he's on the move. The first quarter was 26-4. Camtura Rock leads. Here comes Skim the Top with an explosive move on the outside. From 4th to 3rd to 2nd, and he's right there alongside Camtura Rock. Meantime, to the inside in 3rd, it's Harfo Hanover, Freaky Feet Pete to his outside 4th. I'm a Full-Time Job 5th. 2 lengths in 6th as they head over towards the halfway point. It's Tony's Affection to the outside. This baby Rock hemmed in at the pylons. Mr. Julian to his outside. Kelly D. And at the back of the pack, it's the big year. The half was 55-2. And now it's Freaky Feet Pete who has taken the lead. And Skim the Top will follow the heavy favorite into the turn. Camtura Rock to the inside. Races in 3rd. Harfo Hanover is 4th. Inside, pacing in 5th as they approach the 3/4. I'm a Full-Time Job. And now Freaky Feet Pete kicks in as he opens up by 2.5, 3. Camtura Rock to the outside. Skim the top has seen enough. 3/4 and 1:23 and 3 as they race for home. And it's Pete on the front. Freaky Feet Pete, the lead still 3. Camtura Rock into the outside. Harfo Hanover, the Fox winner, beginning to rally now. Moving up between horses comes I'm a Full-Time Job. But Freaky Feet Pete is out there with an insurmountable lead. And Freaky Feet Pete will do the improbable. He'll win handily in 150 and 4 on an off.
150 and 4, Marty Reinheimer in October, mid-October. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, like I said, he just blew us away every week, and we're around him every day. He's just an exceptional horse.
He looks very effortless out there. Anything changed from this year, from his 2-year-old campaign? Now, again, he looked fantastic there as a 2-year-old, just a beautiful stride. Has he filled out any, muscled up some more?
Yeah, he's filled out through the rump and through the front end a little bit.
Okay.
Grown probably a couple inches.
Last year I noticed hood, and I noticed he had a head pull on the outside. No boots.
Knee boots.
Knee boots. Okay, well, the picture I saw did not have any boots. So knee boots back on this year. Is that a concern or just for protection?
Just for protection.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, at that speed, you never know.
Right, certainly. Well, as you saw that mile, he gets away 6th and was out up the backside and just floors it, going up the backside, gets to the front and just flaunts his speed. The others could only watch him go. And so this year, any expectations from this colt? Obviously, you'd like to see him do better, which is kind of hard to do coming off of a season like this. But obviously, there's got to be some expectations.
Yeah, there's expectations, but it's going to be a whole different deal this year. A lot of other colts are going to get better, and a lot of other colts got bigger and stronger. And
yes, they have.
So he met all our expectations last year, and to ask for another dream season like that would just be selfish, I guess.
So if he obviously improves and grows up as much as his counterparts have, still going to have a nice colt. That brings us to another question, and this is obviously probably going to be a question many people are asking at the time right now. There's another sophomore colt that has been taking a lot of the press from coming in from the East Coast, and he's going to be here on Saturday night. Draws post number 1 in his elimination. You drew away from him. Of course, I'm speaking of Wiggle It Jiggle It. This looks like a pretty nice colt, Marty.
What can you say? Wow, 49 on a half. Impressive. And
very impressive. Undefeated.
Yeah, in every interview I've seen, George Teague said he's probably one of the better ones or the best one he's had. And
he's had some pretty nice horses.
Yeah, he knows horse flesh. He's been around some good ones.
I'm going to put you in the spot. Can you take him?
That's why they race them.
Good answer. Good answer. So obviously you're both hoping to make the first preliminary final, which will take place on May the 30th. And if you do both finish first or second in your eliminations, you will probably be up against each other come May 30th, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. He's not the only one. There's a lot of these Indiana breds that stand right here that are going to be tough.
Now, you qualified the horse twice now, coming into this first race this Saturday night. Several qualifiers. In fact, you just qualified him last week. And let's take a look at that qualifier. On a fast track, actually, it was at the 5th race on the 16th. And let's see, you're on the far outside, got the yellow hood, so that's one way to distinguish.
That's so Dad can see him.
Well, it certainly helps the announcer as well. But so he floats him out of there. And pretty easy fractions, if memory serves me correctly. In fact, if I look at his past performance lines here, that qualifier, they get to the quarter in 28 and 2, and he sits 3rd.
Yeah, he got a good trip there. He got down along the rail. He needed to follow some horses.
Is that something I noticed last year? There was a few starts where he was brought off the pace. A couple of starts where he was put on the front. Can he relax on the front?
He his first few starts, he had a real problem with being kind of headstrong.
Yes,
and Trace
I
had
noticed
to fight him.
Yep.
And we made an adjustment, put can't-see backs on him and earplugs, pop-out earplugs.
Okay.
And he really seemed to relax. And Trace, he just matured. Trace did a wonderful job with him. Never forced the issue with him. And
So with this qualifier, what are you hoping to go? I mean, obviously you like to see you've got a number, got a time in your back of your mind. What would you like to see?
We told the driver to take him where he's comfortable, and that's what he did.
So here he pulls from 30s on the outside. They go to the half in 57. So thus far, easy going here. Tips him out, top of the stretch. They reach 3/4, and then it's all over. Last quarter, 26-1, and he qualifies in 151-3. I'm going to say could be the fastest qualifier we've ever seen here at Hoosier Park in 22 years.
I know it's the fastest one we've ever had.
So certainly a nice tightener. He qualified in 52-3 the previous week, actually on the 2nd of May. So 2 qualifiers going into the final this coming Saturday. And we'll see what happens, see where it goes. You drew, you're in the 11th race. You drew in the second division, second elimination. Drew post 8. If you had bad luck, he obviously doesn't seem to mind the outside post positions here, and but still, sometimes you like to draw to the inside and have a little easier trip. Will be okay from post 8?
We don't have any choice. I'd like to see him further inside, but
sure.
That's the way it fell out, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Last year, the story early on in the barn area was you turned down some offers for the Colt. Did you have any solicitations last year as a 2-year-old?
We did have a few offers.
As a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Anything this year?
Right after New Year's, we had a couple offers. And
okay.
He's kind of a family member now, so.
Understandably so. The recent edition of the Hoofbeats coming out, and the Hoofbeats predictive rankings for the 3-year Pacers showed that this colt here was well received by the racing fans out there. In fact, the fans voted him 8th in the country. In fact, he got 2 number 1 votes. Any pressure, Marty? I'm nervous for you.
Yeah, there's pressure, but if he does well and gives 100% and stays healthy and happy, yeah, you can't ask for any more.
That's all you can ask. Experts rated him as 10th, so he's obviously getting a lot of press and is going to be a force to reckon with. And it's good to know that you've got the colt made eligible to some Grand Circuit events here at Hoosier Park and also Balmoral Park, and so the colt was not nominated as a yearling to Breeders' Crown, so you will have to make that supplement payment.
Yeah, he's got to buy his own way in, but like I said, that's the ultimate dream. Very
good. So one final question here. Tom Dubrick asks, with those solicitations that you had last year, any regrets? Do you fret about it not selling him?
Not a bit.
Money is,
not a bit. Dad's been in this for a long time, and to have a horse like this,
right? It's a once in a lifetime thing.
Once in a lifetime deal.
Well, enjoy the ride, Marty. It is good to see someone like yourself owning a piece of a horse like this here. We've known each other since we were knee high to grasshopper, as they say, for a long, long time, and it is great to see someone like yourself have a horse like this. And again, enjoy the ride. Best of luck, and we hope to see you in the winner's circle come Saturday night.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is Behind the Lines, and we are 16 minutes now from race 1 here at Hoosier Park. Again, enjoy your night. Best of luck, everyone.